Okay, boss. Brought back your load from the con. See what we have here for you. Pile of books. Of course, up top there's your CD signed. Next to that, got your 2 DVD sets. Then beyond there, 2 small Transformer toys. And lastly, 1 bag of Fritos. What happened to the other bag? I ate 'em en route. You think we get enough energon on this planet? Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. Not too recently, I was at OhioCon, one of the best anime conventions here in Ohio. Definitely recommend it to any of you anime fans out there. But we also, while we were there, as you saw from all my swag, this was also one of the bits of swag. We're looking at the Siege version of Astrotrain. Now, of course, 2 weeks ago, just a few weeks back, before we went to the con, we did review the G1 version of Astrotrain. And as you can see, there's quite a considerable difference in size between the 2 toys. But like normally as well with the Siege toys, you can combine all of Astrotrain's weapons into one super gun. The instructions again printed in Cybertronian gibberish, so we can't read it. But as you can see, when combined together, it does form a rather obnoxiously long rifle, which sort of matches the rifle on the original toy. But the new Astrotrain also has an added bonus. He also comes with a little bonus car that can become some other things for his various modes. Like right now, if we pop it open here, we just fold this section out and around. Fold everything else in a different configuration. We can turn it into a backpack. Excuse me for a second, I've forgotten how to do that. Yeah, but of course, part of that involves we gotta remove this section down here. Should just slide off. Yep, there we go. Get the other one off too. Come on, there we go. There we go. Now once that's removed, this folded down, rotated. Then you just fold that all up like so, fold that into the back. Had it rotated right. And then just plug it in, and there we go. Astrotrain has a backpack. And he also has some foot pad, some extra foot armor to stand on, like so. And then, of course, we can take his gun away. His gun breaks, dropped it on the floor. The gun breaks down into 5 different weapons. Got a rocket launching pad here that connects onto his side of his arm there. Got one type of rifle here that he can hold in his hand. Take these 2 off to the side. I have something with a rotating minigun barrel here. You can hold in the other arm. Stand up there, buddy boy. And these other 2 guns have posts on their sides, which allows them to be mounted on his shoulders. And there we go. Astrotrain is ready for battle. Just put the old one there next to him for scale. Now, some of you may be wondering about him being in the darker color. Well, a lot of the old advertising brochures, as you saw with my review of Astrotrain, showed that he was originally done up in a darker color. But for some reason, when they went to the retail release, they changed it to a lighter color. There are masterpiece versions and some other special versions of Astrotrain that do have both color forms available for your preference. But in reality, I'm going to tell you right now, folks, even after having only played with him once since I got back from OhioCon, I like this version of Astrotrain. Normally, I've had problems with the triple changers in the Siege line. I didn't really care for how Springer was done. Apeface was okay, but I felt he could have been done better. This one, however, I do like. And we'll get to that here in a little bit. But of course, let's set the old one out of the way for a moment here. And let's take a brief look at this one's articulation. We can turn his head from side to side, and it is on a ball joint, so it can rock up and down. We can raise his arms up to the side about so far, and they do rotate at the shoulder. But of course, how far they move is dependent on his wings. His wings get in the way. He does have a joint at the elbow, so you can bend his arm at the elbow. And he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he does have G.I. Joe battle grip. His legs can be brought apart into a full splits. He can raise his leg up at the hip about 90 degrees, and the extra weight causes him to already bend his leg at the knee about 90 degrees. So Astrotrain is considerably more articulated than his original toy. Now, we're going to flip him into the alternate modes, and we'll take a look at how those look. Alright, we have both Astrotrains here in their space shuttle modes. As you can see, they both do look pretty close to each other. Of course, the new one does allow room for holding all of the guns, whereas the original one did not. That was a sad, sorry, lacking feature on there, but at least the new one does carry it over. And if you're wondering, it does swoosh pretty good. I'm going to set the old one aside for a second, because we do have a couple of bonus features for the extra car here. The first thing we can do is we can always attach it to Astrotrain himself. We put it in this sort of a configuration. Astrotrain can be mounted to it, like so, to be some sort of landing platform. But as there's no real way to secure him on there, it just looks kind of ridiculous. So I don't care for that bonus feature too much, but there is another one that we can use, where we put it in this configuration, and then you can mount Astrotrain here on the back. And there you go. you have yourself a rocket launching platform. And that much I can say, this is a great feature to have here with it. This makes a nice display piece just right there by itself. He might look better without the guns, but this makes a nice display piece. Just like that. So, if there's anybody out there that kind of doubts if the Siege line is for adult collectors, well, here you go. This is something that definitely shows it can be. This is a nice feature right here. This is something nice right there. Just with this. You've got a rocket display. And beautiful. That's all I can say for it. Yeah. Some of you might be asking, can the old one be mounted on there? Well, he only lines up with about 2 out of the 3. He wants to pitch forward over there in that direction. But let's see if we can get him supported against the backdrop. There, put him there at the backdrop, and where he's got a wall or something solid and sturdy to hold him up like that. That almost doesn't look too bad either. It's not perfect. It's woefully not proportioned for him, but it doesn't look too bad. Alright, let's get to the last mode. How does the train mode look? Now here we are with the train mode. As you can see, right here we got the G1 version here off to the side. And here we have the impressive full-on train that the new one is. So he's got most of the weapons attached to the coal car here in the back, keeping the missile launcher on himself. And this definitely this is an improvement over the Titan's Return version, because I know a lot of people criticized that one, and in many ways the armored train that was used on the Titan's Return version definitely looked more like the hover trains that were featured in the Star Wars Rogue Squadron video game, so it did look out of place here. This one doesn't really. It looks like it really works well, especially with it being more of a Cybertronian train, whereas the original was intended to be a real train. Now, we got one last bonus feature to show, folks. If you don't like having the weapons on Astrotrain, you can store the weapons. Astrotrain's box here can be used to store all of the guns with ease. Just pop everything open here like so. The missile launcher fits into this little tray down here in the front like that. The 2 guns that have posts on their sides, each one of them attaches to a side wall with the gun facing inward. And then, of course, the other 2 guns rest in here on this middle platform. And then raise it all up, fold in the sides to secure them, and close the lid, and there we go. Astrotrain's got a weapons locker. And then you can run him without them if you so choose. Now, what are my thoughts on this version of Astrotrain? I love this version of Astrotrain. This is a great toy, folks. I can't deny that. This is a great improvement over a Generation 1 toy. Now, I can't say how he compares to the Masterpiece version because, well, I don't have the Masterpiece version. And as long as I'm stuck in my current quagmire of a job, I will not be able to afford a Masterpiece version, I can tell you that. Hopefully my new job starts soon. Cross your fingers, folks. But all in all, this is a great toy. Both of the alternate modes, they work out pretty well, and he transforms into them very, very well. It's not as much of a complicated fight as either of the previous triple changers were. Springer was a pain to transform. Apeface, the results weren't that great, but Astrotrain is perfection. You will have a little bit of difficulty, and I will admit that. There is some difficulty in getting him to get together right, but you won't have to fight with it as bad as you do on the other toys. So, this is definitely a Siege toy worthy of a G1 collector. I must say that. This is a grand improvement over the G1 form, and it's just all around, it's a great toy. The only real faults are, like I said, some of the transformation can be a bit of a pain, and I don't like the one option with the space shuttle and the extra box there. I don't really like the one mode, but the launch platform mode is perfect. Great idea. Well, that concludes my review of the Siege version of Astrotrain and a comparison to his G1 form. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, please drop down there and hit that subscribe button so that you can join our ranks, and ring the bell so you'll be notified of future content. And unless YouTube has flagged this video for children, please leave your thoughts on Astrotrain in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.